That sharp ache when you first stand up from your favorite chair. The stiffness that greets you each morning before your body decides to cooperate. The way your knees protest when you bend down to pick up something you dropped, making you think twice before reaching for it again. Perhaps you've noticed that activities you once did without a second thought now require planning, caution, or sometimes skipping altogether. This isn't just getting older. This is your body's collagen crying out for help. Behind every creaky joint, every moment of discomfort, every limitation that's crept into your daily life, there's a protein that's been quietly disappearing from your body for decades. And here's what most people don't realize until it's almost too late. After 60, you're not just losing collagen. You're losing it faster than ever before, and your body's ability to replace what's gone has slowed to a crawl. But what if I told you that 6 specific foods, backed by solid scientific research, could help turn this around? Before we dive into these remarkable foods, I want to connect with you. Take just a moment to comment below with your age and where you're watching from. Whether you're in Chicago or Mumbai, Tokyo or London, I genuinely want to know who's in our community. It helps me understand who I'm speaking to and what matters most to you. Plus, it's wonderful to see how this information reaches people all around the world who are dealing with the same challenges and looking for the same solutions. Now let's talk about what's actually happening inside your body. Collagen is the most abundant protein in your entire system. Think of it as the scaffolding that holds everything together. It makes up roughly 70 to 80% of your skin's structure, but more importantly for what we're discussing today, it's the foundation of your cartilage, the cushioning material between your bones that allows smooth, pain-free movement. It's in your tendons, which connect muscles to bones. It's in your ligaments, which hold bones together at the joints. When you're young, your body manufactures collagen like a well-oiled factory running 3 shifts a day. But after you turn 20, that factory starts slowing down. By the time you reach 60, production has dropped dramatically. Research published in multiple peer-reviewed journals shows that adults over 60 produce collagen at roughly half the rate they did in their 20s. For women, the decline accelerates even more sharply after menopause, with studies from the American Academy of Dermatology indicating a 30% loss in just the first 5 years following menopause. Here's what makes this particularly problematic for your joints. Cartilage doesn't have its own blood supply. It depends entirely on the nutrients it can absorb from surrounding tissue. When your collagen production drops, your cartilage becomes thinner, drier, and less resilient. The cushioning between your bones literally wears away. The Cleveland Clinic explains that this is why osteoarthritis, the wearing down of joint cartilage, affects more than 32 million adults in the United States, with the vast majority being over 60. Your bones start rubbing together where smooth cartilage once separated them. Inflammation sets in. Movement becomes painful. The body tries to compensate by forming bone spurs, which only make matters worse. But here's the crucial part that gives us hope. While you can't stop the aging process, you can absolutely influence how your body manages collagen. Your body needs specific nutrients to synthesize new collagen and protect what you already have. It needs vitamin C as an absolute requirement because without it, the collagen synthesis process cannot occur. It needs amino acids like glycine and proline, which are the actual building blocks. It needs minerals like zinc and copper that activate the enzymes involved in collagen formation. And it needs antioxidants to protect existing collagen from breaking down too quickly. When you provide these nutrients consistently through your diet, you give your body the raw materials it desperately needs. I've spent considerable time researching the scientific literature, examining clinical studies, and consulting recommendations from institutions like the National Institutes of Health, Mayo Clinic, and Harvard Medical School. What I'm about to share with you isn't based on trends or marketing. These are 6 foods with genuine scientific evidence supporting their ability to help your body maintain and produce collagen. We're going to count down from number 6 to number 1, saving the most versatile and powerful option for last. Each of these foods brings something unique to the table, and together, they create a comprehensive approach to supporting your joint health from the inside out. Let's start with number 6, citrus fruits and berries. I'm grouping these together because they work through similar mechanisms, though each brings its own unique benefits. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that higher intakes of vitamin C were directly associated with better skin health and slower aging, and the same principles apply to your joints and connective tissue. Here's why this matters so much. Vitamin C is not just helpful for collagen production. It's absolutely essential. Without adequate vitamin C, your body literally cannot make functional collagen. This vitamin acts as a critical cofactor for two enzymes, prolohydroxylase and lysohydroxylase, that are required to stabilize the collagen molecule structure. Studies from Oregon State University's Linus Pauling Institute demonstrate that vitamin C also protects existing collagen from oxidative damage caused by free radicals. Oranges, grapefruits, lemons, and limes provide exceptional amounts of vitamin C. A single medium orange gives you more than 90 milligrams, which exceeds the daily recommended intake for most adults. But here's something many people don't know. The white pith beneath the peel contains additional flavonoids that actually enhance vitamin C absorption and provide extra antioxidant protection. When you peel an orange, don't try to remove every bit of that white layer. Some of it is beneficial. Kiwi fruit is even more powerful, containing nearly twice the vitamin C of an orange in a single fruit, along with vitamin E and other compounds that work together to support collagen synthesis. Now for the berries. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries bring vitamin C, but they also contain powerful anthocyanins, which are antioxidants that specifically protect collagen from the enzymes that break it down. A review published in Food Science and Nutrition found that these antioxidants can inhibit matrix metalloproteinases, the enzymes responsible for degrading collagen in your joints. Blueberries have some of the highest antioxidant levels of any commonly available fruit. Research shows that just 1 cup of strawberries provides about 90 milligrams of vitamin C, actually more than an orange, though oranges get all the credit. For adults over 60, especially those on fixed incomes, these fruits are relatively affordable and widely available year-round. Frozen berries are flash frozen at peak ripeness and retain virtually all their nutrients, often costing less than fresh. You can buy a large bag that lasts for weeks. The practical approach is simple. Add half a cup of berries to your morning oatmeal or yogurt. Slice an orange as an afternoon snack. Blend frozen berries into a smoothie. The vitamin C from these foods is water-soluble, meaning your body doesn't store it, so you need to consume it daily. But the benefits compound over time. Studies suggest that consistent vitamin C intake supports not just collagen production, but also helps reduce inflammation throughout your body. One important consideration: if you're taking certain medications, particularly blood thinners, you'll want to discuss increasing your vitamin C intake with your healthcare provider, as very high doses can interact with some medications. For most people eating whole fruits, this isn't a concern, but it's always wise to check. Also, if you have a history of kidney stones, particularly calcium oxalate stones, you might want to moderate your intake and spread it throughout the day rather than consuming large amounts at once. Moving to number 5. Leafy green vegetables, particularly spinach, kale, collard greens, and Swiss chard. These vegetables might not seem directly related to collagen at first glance, but research reveals they play multiple crucial roles. A study published in Neurology followed adults with an average age of 81 and found that those consuming 1 to 2 servings of leafy greens daily had cognitive function equivalent to being 11 years younger. While that study focused on brain health, the mechanisms involve nutrients that also support collagen and connective tissue. Leafy greens contain chlorophyll, the compound that gives them their deep green color. Research suggests that chlorophyll can increase the precursor to collagen in your skin and connective tissues. These greens are also loaded with vitamin C, though people rarely think of them this way. 1 cup of raw kale provides more than 80 milligrams of vitamin C, and it's accompanied by vitamin K, which plays a role in bone health and the proper use of calcium in your body. They also contain vitamin E, an antioxidant that works synergistically with vitamin C to protect collagen from oxidative damage. Here's something particularly important for older adults. Leafy greens provide minerals that are often deficient in the diets of people over 60. They contain iron, necessary for oxygen transport to your tissues including cartilage. They provide magnesium, which supports hundreds of enzymatic reactions in your body. Spinach in particular is rich in both iron and magnesium, though the iron is not as readily absorbed as iron from animal sources because of compounds called oxalates. Cooking spinach actually reduces the oxalate content and makes the nutrients more available to your body. The practical challenge with leafy greens is that some older adults find them difficult to chew, especially if they have dental issues. The solution is simple: cook them. Sautéing spinach or kale with a small amount of olive oil for just a few minutes wilts them down to a more manageable texture while actually concentrating many of the nutrients. Steaming works beautifully too. You can also blend raw spinach into smoothies where you won't even taste it among fruits. A handful of spinach adds negligible flavor but significant nutrition. For those on a budget, these greens are often among the least expensive vegetables in any grocery store. A large bunch of collard greens or kale costs just a few dollars and provides multiple servings. One caution: if you're taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin, the vitamin K in leafy greens can interfere with how the medication works. This doesn't mean you can't eat them, but you need to be consistent in how much you eat so your doctor can adjust your medication accordingly. Don't suddenly start eating large amounts if you haven't been eating them regularly. Discuss any dietary changes with your healthcare provider. Number 4 is going to surprise many people: bell peppers, particularly red bell peppers. Most people don't realize that bell peppers contain more vitamin C per serving than citrus fruits. One medium red bell pepper provides about 190 milligrams of vitamin C, more than double what you get from an orange. Yellow and orange peppers also contain impressive amounts, while green peppers have somewhat less because they're harvested before fully ripening. Research from the Linus Pauling Institute confirms that vitamin C from vegetables is just as effective as vitamin C from fruits for supporting collagen synthesis. What makes bell peppers particularly valuable is their versatility and the fact that they provide vitamin C along with other important compounds. Red bell peppers contain lycopene, the same antioxidant found in tomatoes, which has been shown to protect collagen from UV damage and oxidative stress. They also provide beta-carotene, which your body converts to vitamin A, supporting skin cell turnover and overall tissue health. The practical beauty of bell peppers is how easy they are to incorporate into meals. You can slice them raw for a crunchy snack, adding them to plate with hummus or guacamole for healthy fats that improve nutrient absorption. You can dice them into scrambled eggs or omelets. You can roast them in the oven, which concentrates their natural sweetness and makes them incredibly flavorful. They work beautifully in stir-fries, soups, and casseroles. Unlike many vegetables that lose nutrients when cooked, bell peppers retain much of their vitamin C content even after cooking, especially if you don't overcook them. For older adults concerned about budget, bell peppers do tend to cost more than some other vegetables, but a little goes a long way. One large bell pepper can be used across multiple meals. You can also watch for sales and buy several at once, then slice and freeze them for later use in cooked dishes, though freezing does reduce the vitamin C content somewhat. Red bell peppers are typically more expensive than green ones because they're ripe and have spent more time on the plant, but the nutritional payoff is significant. An important note: bell peppers are on the Environmental Working Group's Dirty Dozen list, meaning conventionally grown peppers often contain pesticide residues. If possible, consider buying organic bell peppers, or if that's not feasible, wash them very thoroughly under running water, using a vegetable brush to remove any residues from the skin. For most people, the benefits of eating bell peppers far outweigh concerns about pesticide exposure, but it's something to be aware of. Coming in at number 3, nuts and seeds, specifically cashews, almonds, pumpkin seeds, and sesame seeds. These foods might not seem directly connected to collagen, but they provide two minerals that are absolutely critical for collagen synthesis: zinc and copper. A review published in the journal Nutrients explains that zinc is essential for activating amino acids required for collagen synthesis and serves as a cofactor for enzymes that allow your cells to remodel collagen, which is particularly important for wound healing and tissue repair. Copper activates an enzyme called lysyl oxidase that's required for cross-linking collagen fibers, which gives collagen its strength and stability. Cashews are particularly rich in both zinc and copper. Just 1 ounce, about a handful, provides a significant portion of your daily needs for both minerals. Almonds provide zinc along with vitamin E, which, as I mentioned earlier, works together with vitamin C to protect collagen. Pumpkin seeds are zinc powerhouses, offering more zinc per serving than almost any other plant food. Sesame seeds, often overlooked, are extraordinarily rich in copper. 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds, or tahini, which is ground sesame seed paste, provides about 70% of your daily copper requirement. These nuts and seeds also provide healthy fats that your body needs to absorb fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A and E. They're calorie-dense, which can be beneficial for older adults who may struggle with appetite or unintentional weight loss. But it also means portions need to be reasonable if you're watching your calorie intake. About an ounce a day, which fits in the palm of your hand, is a good guideline. Research from Harvard Medical School indicates that people who regularly consume nuts and seeds have better overall health outcomes and may have reduced inflammation, which is important because chronic inflammation accelerates collagen breakdown. The practical challenge is that some older adults have difficulty chewing nuts and seeds, especially if they have dental problems. The solution is choosing varieties that are easier to manage or preparing them differently. Nut butters, like almond butter or cashew butter, provide all the same nutrients in a smooth, spreadable form. You can stir a spoonful into oatmeal or spread it on apple slices. Tahini can be mixed into salad dressings or used as a dip. Ground flaxseed or chia seeds can be sprinkled on virtually anything without changing the texture significantly. For those on a budget, buying nuts and seeds in bulk from the bulk bins at grocery stores is often much cheaper than buying small packaged containers. Store them in airtight containers in a cool, dark place, or even in the refrigerator or freezer to prevent the oils from going rancid. A bag of raw almonds or pumpkin seeds can last for months when properly stored. One important consideration: if you have diverticulosis or diverticulitis, you may have been told to avoid seeds. While older medical advice suggested this, more recent research from Harvard Health indicates that seeds and nuts don't actually increase the risk of diverticulitis flares and may even be protective because of their fiber content. However, if you have active diverticulitis or have been advised by your gastroenterologist to avoid them, follow that guidance. Additionally, if you're taking zinc supplements separately, high doses can interfere with copper absorption, so getting both minerals from food sources like nuts and seeds is often the better approach. Now we're at number 2, fatty fish, particularly salmon, sardines, mackerel, and trout. This recommendation comes with substantial scientific backing from multiple research institutions. These fish provide 3 crucial elements for collagen support: omega-3 fatty acids, high-quality protein with all the essential amino acids your body needs, and in some cases, actual collagen from the fish skin and bones. A study from UC Davis Health found that omega-3 fatty acids don't directly build collagen, but they reduce inflammation, and reducing inflammation improves collagen turnover and protects existing collagen from breaking down prematurely. Let me explain this more clearly because it's important. When you have inflammation in your joints, your body produces enzymes that break down collagen faster than it can be replaced. The omega-3 fatty acids in fatty fish, specifically EPA and DHA, have been shown in multiple clinical trials to reduce joint pain and stiffness in people with osteoarthritis. A meta-analysis published in the Journal of Orthopedic Surgery and Research, examining 9 trials involving over 2,000 people with osteoarthritis, found that those taking omega-3 supplements reported less pain and better movement compared to placebo groups. The American Heart Association recommends eating fatty fish twice a week not just for heart health, but for the anti-inflammatory benefits throughout your body. Salmon deserves special attention. Wild-caught salmon provides roughly 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams of EPA and DHA combined in a 3-ounce serving. It also contains astaxanthin, a potent antioxidant that gives salmon its pink color and has been shown to protect collagen from UV damage and oxidative stress. Farmed salmon contains omega-3s as well, though typically in somewhat lower amounts, and it's more affordable and accessible for many people. Sardines, often dismissed as an old-fashioned food, are nutritional powerhouses. A can of sardines with bones provides not just omega-3s but also calcium, which is crucial for bone health, and when you eat the soft, edible bones, you're getting collagen as well. Sardines are also low on the food chain, meaning they accumulate far fewer toxins like mercury compared to larger fish. Practical guidance for older adults is straightforward but important. Aim for 2 servings of fatty fish per week. A serving is about the size of a deck of cards or the palm of your hand. If fresh fish feels expensive or intimidating to prepare, canned fish is an excellent, budget-friendly alternative. Canned salmon and sardines packed in water or olive oil are inexpensive, shelf-stable, and incredibly convenient. You can mash them with a little lemon juice and spread them on whole grain crackers. You can add them to salads. You can make simple fish cakes by mixing them with an egg and some breadcrumbs, forming patties, and pan-frying them until golden. For those concerned about mercury, The fish I've mentioned, salmon, sardines, and trout, are all considered low-mercury options by the FDA. Mackerel requires a bit more care because Spanish mackerel and king mackerel are high in mercury, but Atlantic mackerel is low in mercury and perfectly safe for regular consumption. If you absolutely cannot eat fish due to allergies or strong aversions, algae-based omega-3 supplements can provide DHA, though they typically don't contain EPA in high amounts. This is a situation where supplementation might be necessary, but always consult with your healthcare provider before starting supplements. One more important point. If you're taking blood-thinning medications or high-dose aspirin, omega-3 fatty acids can have mild blood-thinning effects as well. This doesn't mean you can't eat fish, but your doctor should know what you're consuming so they can monitor you appropriately. For most people, the cardiovascular and anti-inflammatory benefits of fatty fish far outweigh any concerns, but it's always better to keep your healthcare provider informed. And now we've reached number 1, the food I've saved for last because it offers something unique that none of the others can provide, actual collagen itself. I'm talking about bone broth. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. Bone broth has been promoted as a miracle cure for everything, and whenever something gets that much hype, it's natural to be skeptical. So let me give you the real scientific story, separating fact from marketing. Bone broth is made by simmering animal bones, typically beef, chicken, or fish bones, in water for extended periods, often 12 to 24 hours. This prolonged cooking extracts collagen from the bones and connective tissue, breaking it down into gelatin, which is simply denatured collagen. When you cool bone broth, it often forms a gel-like consistency, which tells you collagen was successfully extracted. Research from the International Journal of Sport Nutrition and Exercise Metabolism did find that commercial bone broths varied widely in their collagen content, and some contained disappointingly small amounts. However, homemade bone broth made properly, or high-quality commercial broths that guarantee protein content, can provide meaningful amounts of collagen-derived amino acids. Here's what happens when you consume bone broth. Your digestive system breaks the gelatin down into individual amino acids and small peptides. These amino acids, particularly glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, are then absorbed into your bloodstream and circulated throughout your body. Your cells can use these amino acids as building blocks to synthesize new collagen. Studies show that when people consume gelatin enriched with vitamin C before exercise, their collagen synthesis doubled compared to a control group. This research from the University of California suggests that providing your body with collagen-specific amino acids, especially when combined with vitamin C, gives it exactly what it needs to make new collagen efficiently. Bone broth also contains other beneficial compounds. It provides hyaluronic acid, which helps retain moisture in connective tissue. It contains glucosamine and chondroitin, compounds often sold as supplements for joint health. It provides minerals that have leached out of the bones during cooking, including calcium, phosphorus, and magnesium. An important note from the Cleveland Clinic: bone broth should not be your only source of calcium, as the amounts are modest, but it contributes to your overall mineral intake. Let me be honest about the limitations because that's important. The scientific evidence for bone broth specifically relieving joint pain or rebuilding cartilage in humans is still limited and preliminary. Most of the strong evidence is for collagen supplements in powdered form, where doses and composition are standardized. But bone broth provides amino acids in a food form that's been consumed by cultures around the world for thousands of years. For many people over 60, it's a nourishing, easily digestible protein source that's gentle on the stomach and can be especially valuable if you have difficulty eating solid protein or have decreased appetite. Making your own bone broth is economical. You can save bones from roasted chickens or ask your butcher for soup bones, which are often very inexpensive or even free. Place the bones in a large pot or slow cooker, add water to cover them, add a tablespoon or 2 of apple cider vinegar which helps extract minerals from the bones, and let it simmer. You can add vegetables like carrots, celery, and onion for flavor, though they're not necessary for collagen extraction. After 12 to 24 hours of gentle simmering, strain out the solids and you're left with nutrient-rich broth. You can freeze it in portions and use it for months. If making your own seems overwhelming, look for commercial bone broths that list protein content on the label. Aim for at least 10 grams of protein per cup, which indicates meaningful collagen content. These are more expensive than making your own, but they're convenient. You can heat a cup and sip it as a warm, comforting drink. Use it as a base for soups, or cook your rice or quinoa in it to boost the protein and amino acid content of your meals. One caution that's important for older adults: bone broth can be high in sodium, depending on how it's prepared. If you're watching your sodium intake due to high blood pressure or heart conditions, make your own without added salt, or look for low-sodium commercial varieties. Also, bone broth made from bones that contain lead could potentially contain lead that leached out during cooking. This is more of a concern with bones from very old animals or animals raised in areas with soil contamination. Using bones from organic grass-fed animals, while more expensive, reduces this risk. For people with histamine intolerance, a condition that can develop with age, bone broth may trigger symptoms because the long cooking time increases histamine levels. If you notice headaches, flushing, or digestive upset after consuming bone broth, this might be why. In that case, shorter cooked stocks or collagen supplements might be better options for you. Now that you understand all 6 of these foods, let me help you see how they work together. The citrus fruits and berries provide the vitamin C that's absolutely essential for collagen production. The bell peppers add even more vitamin C plus antioxidants that protect collagen. The nuts and seeds supply the zinc and copper your body needs to activate the enzymes involved in collagen synthesis. The leafy greens contribute vitamin C, chlorophyll, and additional antioxidants while supporting overall inflammation control. The fatty fish reduces inflammation that would otherwise break down collagen faster and provides all the essential amino acids. And the bone broth delivers the specific collagen-building amino acids in a form that's readily available to your cells. You don't need to eat all 6 categories every single day, though you certainly could. A more realistic approach is building them into your weekly routine. Start your morning with a smoothie containing berries and a handful of spinach. Have an orange or sliced bell peppers as a mid-morning snack. Sprinkle almonds or pumpkin seeds on your lunchtime salad. Have salmon or sardines twice a week for dinner. Sip a warm mug of bone broth in the evening. When you do this consistently over weeks and months, you're providing your body with a steady supply of everything it needs. I want to be very clear about expectations because this is crucial. These foods are not medicine. They will not cure arthritis or reverse decades of joint damage. What they can do, based on scientific evidence, is support your body's natural ability to maintain and produce collagen, potentially slowing further deterioration and supporting better joint function over time. Studies on collagen supplementation typically show modest but meaningful improvements after 3 to 6 months of consistent use. Food-based approaches would likely follow similar timelines, or possibly longer, since you're relying on your body to extract and use the nutrients rather than taking concentrated supplements. Some people notice they feel better relatively quickly within a few weeks, particularly in terms of reduced inflammation from the omega-3s and antioxidants. Others might not perceive changes for months. Individual variation is significant. Your current nutritional status, the severity of your joint issues, your overall health, other medications you take, and your genetic makeup all influence how you respond. This is why I emphasize that these foods should be part of a comprehensive approach that also includes appropriate physical activity, maintaining a healthy weight if you're overweight, staying hydrated, getting adequate sleep, and following your doctor's recommendations for managing any existing conditions. If you feel overwhelmed by trying to incorporate 6 different categories of food, I want you to start simple. Pick just 1 or 2. Maybe you decide to add a serving of berries to your breakfast every day and have salmon once a week. Do that for a month until it becomes habit. Then add another element. Maybe you start keeping bell pepper slices in the refrigerator for easy snacking. Small, consistent changes sustained over time create lasting impact. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. I also want to address cost because I know many of you watching are on fixed incomes and every dollar matters. These foods range from very affordable to moderate in cost. Berries can be bought frozen in bulk. Citrus fruits are relatively inexpensive. Leafy greens are among the cheapest vegetables. Bell peppers cost more, but you don't need many. Nuts and seeds in bulk are reasonable. Canned sardines and salmon are budget-friendly protein sources. Making your own bone broth from saved bones or cheap soup bones is very economical. You can build a collagen-supporting diet without breaking the bank. It just requires a bit of planning and smart shopping. Before I wrap up, I want to remind you once more that you should consult with your healthcare provider before making significant dietary changes, especially if you have existing health conditions, take medications, or have food allergies or restrictions. The information I've shared is educational and based on scientific research, but it's not individualized medical advice. Your doctor or a registered dietitian can help you determine what makes sense for your specific situation. If you found this information valuable, I'd truly appreciate it if you'd click the like button below. It helps this video reach more people who might benefit from it. Consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications so you don't miss future videos where we'll explore more ways to support your health naturally through nutrition and lifestyle. I'm committed to bringing you evidence-based information you can trust and actually use in your daily life. Your body is remarkably resilient. Even after 60, even after years of wear and tear, it still has the capacity to repair, rebuild, and maintain itself when you give it what it needs. Those 6 foods we discussed, citrus fruits and berries, leafy greens, bell peppers, nuts and seeds, fatty fish, and bone broth, represent your opportunity to support that natural healing process. Small steps taken consistently create real change. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I wish you strength, comfort, and vibrant health on your journey ahead.